Oops. Play has resumed. My mic was on mute. This is match number 2. Marty has jumped out to a 1-0 lead. He had kind of he rolled an early double 5 last game and went on the blitz, and then Albert fanned a few times, and Marty was able to cash. So 1-0. Second game, Marty opened, I believe, with a 5-3, and then Albert responded with double 6s, and then and now play has continued from there. Marty's trying to build up his board. His back checkers are still anchored. Albert is now on roll, and it looks like even though Albert rolled the double 6, that he's really not that far ahead in this race. His main threats here is if he makes the 4 or 5 point. Those are pretty good rolls, but you know, he's also got some awkward numbers. Some of his 5s and 6s don't really play that well. 4-2 makes the 4 points. So Albert was considering the cube. He saw how powerful it would be to make one of these points. But he holds off, and now 4-1 for Marty, and I don't think he can stay put any longer. I think he's going to have to split in some fashion and then make his board, either cover the deuce or the ace. Maybe the deuce is better just because it uses the deep builder. And so now Albert has another cube decision. He loses market by a mile if he attacks and Marty doesn't hit back. But, you know, Marty's got a 4-point board, so Marty's actually has a stronger board as far as number of points go. So unless Albert points on him, Marty's got some teeth. But Marty doesn't like the prospects. He gives it up in a 1-1. 1-1 game, so... (3-2) for Marty. He splits. And now it's Albert's turn to roll a double 5. Double 5. He makes both interboard points, and Marty comes in, but he's not able to anchor. So he moves closer with the. He moves 11 to 10. This is duping some of Albert's 4s. Albert needs 4s to. Oh, but Albert rolls a double 2, which is a great roll. It makes the 4 point, and he has to think about the last one. He's splitting. He also could have come down and maybe get another guy ready for the attack with a 1-6, and Albert can cash this position. Yeah, it's a cash. So 2-1 now, quick game. So Marty was the beneficiary of an early double 5 in game 1, and now it was Albert's turn to be a beneficiary of an early double 5, and so on to the next game. 2-1 lead for Albert. 5-1. Marty is splitting. We got a 6-2. 6-2 for Albert. I guess he's going to have to run. He could also have come down with the 13-11, but he didn't like... Marty's rear checkers are split. It would have been a bunch of shots. 6-4, so Marty's able to hit, and with the 6, he's gonna come into the outfield. A double 1 is a great roll for Albert. He's going to be able to come in, hit, and make the 5 point. Kind of a perfect roll, actually. 3-1. At least Marty's going to be able to make an anchor here. So Marty's got a defense. A 5-2 for Albert. Will he lift the blot, or will he try to cover? No, he lifts. So he's got 3 builders now aiming at that 4 point. Oh, double 6 for Marty. So he's able to run. And Marty must be winning now because Albert's got both his checkers back, and Marty's counting the raise. Still a little early. 6-4 makes the 4 point. Albert's got some fly shots. Maybe he really would like to hit one. He doesn't hit. 5-2. So Albert can continue focusing on building up his board. But now what's going on? Let's see, what is the race? 29, so 29. 21 pips, I think Marty was up. So Marty cubes with a 21 pip lead. 6-1 makes the bar. Pretty good sequence for Marty. He makes his bar. Albert rolls kind of a nothing number. He can it plays, but it doesn't really accomplish too much. Just creates some builders so he can improve his board. Marty rolls double 2 now, and how will he play these double 2s? He can make his 2-point. Yeah, that's really not the point, though. He wants to invest his spares in. I think he wants to make the 5-point. He can actually make the 5 right now, but it would leave 2 blots in the outfield. He can cut down on the blots by making the 9-point and lifting one of them. The thing is, he's got to clear this position, so eventually he's going to want that 5-point. Actually, I would just, it's just 1 blot, actually. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I was going to say, whoa, the way they had repositioned the checkers, he can make the 5-point and leave only 1 blot. But yeah, to make the 5-point, it would cost him, if he comes down with 2 of them, 13 to 11, if he tries to clear his position that way and then make the 5-point, he's going to be leaving 4 numbers. He has a completely safe play. If he wanted to, he can bring 2 down and just lift both blots, and then a lot of numbers would make the 5-point anyway next roll. So that's a completely safe way to go. Now, Albert does have a blot on his board, so maybe Marty can afford to take some risk. This is another way to make the 5-point and play with only 1 blot, is to keep the anchor. But he I think he wants to clear them. I kind of like leaving nothing here. I think just because by leaving nothing, those spares actually go to a pretty good spot. And okay, so Marty makes the 9-point and just plays with 1 blot. So again, he still has a bunch of numbers that make the 5-point natural. He rolls one of them, 3-1. So Marty's now got a full prime, but he still has to roll it home. Albert has kind of a counter priming posture. Although I'm not sure how much time he has. If Marty gets hit relatively soon and then comes in right away, he can crack his position. But Albert's going to need to roll some small numbers to maintain some timing. Although a lot of times a 5 prime is sufficient for counter priming. So 4-1 now. Marty is trying to figure out what to do. He wants to roll this thing home, but it's not necessarily easy. I think he should break the 9-point with the 4, or maybe he's already played the 4. I wasn't paying close enough attention. I've already forgotten the original position. Is this all of it? Not sure. Maybe this is all of it. If this is all of it, it is safe, but so Marty's looking at how his rolls play next time. So like what is bad? So he may have some bad 6s, but I think they might all play. 6-1 makes a point, 6-2 makes a point, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5, 6. Yeah, all the 6s would play. So he can. Oh, I see. So Marty hadn't played any of it. Okay, so he does clear the 9. So I guess Marty was thinking, does he want to keep the spare on the 9 so that that gives him a few more numbers to naturally make the 3-point, and but 4-1 is a little awkward. 4-1 is awkward. Marty plays safely. 6-4 now for Albert. He's keeping his board together. He 5-3. So Marty would. Marty makes the 3-point. Oh. 1-6. It's forced. He has to do it. It's a great roll. He's forced to play it correctly. 1-6. When there's only one play, it's the correct one. And so now Albert is contemplating a cube. He holds off. The thing is, you know, a lot of times he doesn't need to double because if he rolls an ace, he still gets really decent cubes from here anyway. So I think now he can really think about the cube. If he pops into it, if he rolls a 6, he's going to lose his market by a mile. If he doesn't roll a 6, the question here is the cube, not the take. I mean, if Albert does not roll a 6, Marty's going to be holding a 4 cube. Albert's got numbers like 5-4 and 4-4, which leaves shots right away. He's got other numbers like 3-3, which are not, you know, they're safe, but they just start the cracking process. He's going to be stuck having to roll a 6 immediately next roll. So it's really just this, you know, he's kind of out of time. He's got those his spares are deep. Now, a lot of the numbers though that don't leap, like 5-1, 5-2, you know, 3-2, 3-1, numbers like that make the ace point and effectively buy him another roll to roll a 6 next time, because you know, Marty has numbers that come in and attack. Otherwise, you know, all of Marty's aces look pretty good. It's just really ace 4 that doesn't really do anything. Oh, but Albert is doubling. I think this is an easy take. I'm not sure about the cube, to be honest. You know, both players can use a gammon here. In fact, the gammon is slightly more valuable to Marty because it will put him out perfectly, and this is a gammonish position. You know, if Albert doesn't roll a 6 immediately, I think he's kind of in trouble. So I would snap this up. Not sure if I would have had the guts to double this. Albert is not afraid of turning the cube higher. He does not play scared. A lot of times it pays to be aggressive in this game, and Albert definitely benefits from aggressive play. Marty takes, as expected, and here's the roll, the payoff roll. Double 1, so Albert makes the ace. I think he wants to keep that spare on the 6. If he rolls a 5, he wants to be able to play. Okay, well, he's thinking that if he rolls a 5, he wants it to be safe. He wants to play safely. So 4-3, so Albert's desperate for a 6. He doesn't get it, so now he's cracking, and now Marty's back in the lead here. It's Marty that's thinking about the cube here, because so if Marty loses this game, he's going to be behind 3 away, 8 away. He's only going to have maybe 20% chances to win the match. So he's not risking much by turning to 8. He does win some gammons, so you know, a lot of times the way Marty wins this game is when Albert isn't able to escape, and Albert leaves another shot, and if Marty hits it, he can win some gammons from there. So turning the cube to 8 kind of eliminates those gammons. So if he does double to 4, and basically, I'm sorry, if he does double to 8, they'll be playing for the match. So Albert's take point is, let's see, so if Albert passes, he would be behind 4 away, 7 away. 4 away, 7 away is, I guess, 30%. So Albert only needs 30% to take this. I think he has 30% here. So if Marty doubles, I do think Albert has a take. The other benefit of doubling, so even though it kills some of Marty's gammons, it also kills Albert's gammons. Albert can use a gammon to win this match. Um, the position is not that gammonish, though, for... Oh, we've had a little bit of a bump on our camera. Guys have bumped our camera. Okay, well, the camera was bumped. One of the kibitzers bumped the camera, but I don't want to interrupt that. I don't want to interrupt the match. This is a critical point in the match, and so I don't want to interrupt anything. I will adjust the camera after. It's still good enough. We can still kind of see what's going on. This is pretty much the whole match on this decision right here. Does Marty have a cube here? So Albert's got a high take point. 30% is a bunch higher than it would be at a normal match score. So Marty can still lose if Marty fans and Albert is forced to roll. So maybe he rolls like something that leaves another shot. Marty would lose his market, I think. Actually, if Albert was down to a 4-point board, would he still have a take? He needs 30%. So with a 4-point board, Marty would fan 16 times, and then Albert would need to kind of escape and come home. I think Albert would have a pass if he breaks down to a 4-point board. I think he would have a pass. So there are market losers, I think, for Marty here. This is a tough position. This is very interesting. I do have XG on my phone. I can try to put the position in while they're thinking about it. If there's ever a time during the match where you want to play slowly and really think about what's going on, this is the time to do it. This would be an 8 cube. This would pretty much decide the match. So the players are playing very deliberately. It's Marty that has the tough decision. Okay, I am trying to put the position in. I do not know what's right. I think it's double take. That's my opinion, but we will see what the bot thinks. Yeah, the bot thinks that XG, at least on the mobile, thinks that this is not quite good enough to cube. It thinks that the game is basically 50-50. But a small error double. It says minus 0.069. But this is very tough. Very, very, very tough. The take is obviously very easy. let's see if I break Albert down to a 4-point board. It's still a very easy take with a 4-point board. So that's where my analysis went wrong. Albert can still take with a 4-point board. So that's why it's not quite a double yet. Marty does not double. Albert rolls a 4-3, and Marty has another decision. So Albert has crunched a little bit more. If Marty was thinking it might have been a cube last roll, he's got to be thinking it's a double this time. He has improved. But as we just discussed, the bot thinks that Albert has a take with a 4-point board. So the bot still thinks it's incorrect to cube here. I can tell you if I was Albert, I'm not sure I would want to see a cube here, even though it's a pretty easy take. I'm not sure that I would know. I would think I was doing worse off. The bot actually thinks it's a 55-45 position here. I would think I was doing a little bit worse. I would not want to see the cube. Of course, I would take, but I would be scared of it. But Marty still does not have a double. But this is really, really tough. It's actually very interesting. We've gotten to a very interesting. And Marty's doing it. He's turning it to 8. You know, he was thinking for such a long time. Albert just snaps it up. Marty stays out. And double 6 for Albert. Oh, sorry, double 6 for Marty. I got it backwards. Double 6 is a great roll for whoever got it. I thought it was Albert's roll. It was Albert that stayed out. So double 6 for Marty. Wow. Marty can just play safe. Albert rolls a 6. He's going to have racing chances, but he doesn't. 5-3, so what will Marty do with the 5-3? We missed another roll. It's Marty's looking at the safe play, which is breaking the 6 points. So if he doesn't do that, he's going to have to leave a shot. But he makes a 5 prime, so that's what he does. He doesn't, you know, Albert can still win this race. 6-4, Albert misses the shot. 3-2, Marty covers up. 5-4, Marty takes one off and plays safe. Marty's a big favorite. Albert's basically going to need to come in his first chance and then roll a set to win this game. Otherwise, Marty's going to claim match number 2 with a very aggressive cube. I actually like doubling the roll before. The XG Mobile disagreed. Maybe someone have a better. Maybe the desktop version would be a more. You know, it's a position you need to roll out, I think. But I don't think mobile's going to be that far off. Anyway. That does it for round number 2. Marty wins round number 2 with an 8 cube. So I'm going to pause for a bit. Then we'll be back with match number 3. The match score is tied up 1-1.